Morning Mood. Lilting and lyrical, that the music of Edvard Grieg from Peer Gynt. Music that you'll hear this weekend at the Centennial Concert Hall with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra and some very special guests, including Soprano Julie Lumsden, who has joined me in studio this morning. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Simon.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Bright and early. Some pretty iconic music that is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I think it's music that we don't even know that we know, but we know it.
Yeah, it's one of those. I do know. Can you put your finger on the first time you heard that music?
I feel like it's been used in almost every single movie score or cartoon. I remember I used to teach dance, and the Troll King song, we used it for tiptoeing. And we go, here we go on tippy toes, tippy toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of music that has become iconic, right? And you mentioned cartoons. I remember seeing it in The Simpsons. There's this one episode where Homer and Bart are working at a carnival, and as the sun rises on the carnival, there's this cheeseburger that unwraps itself in the sunlight, and it's half eaten. It's everywhere. And I guess what I'm getting at here is the fact that we all know Peer Gynt for its instrumental music, especially the two suites by Grieg. But this work that you're back in town for gives us the full story, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's a wonderful mix of the Ibsen text with the Grieg music. And what I love about it is that when it was published was the same year that Grieg's music was premiered. And so these two pieces have really been kind of conceptualized together, which I love because the Ibsen text is prose. It's this play that's kind of not a play, and it's poetry that's not poetry, and it transcends what's available to do on stage. If you were to do a stage version of it, you'd need a million different sets, probably a million different cast members. The costumes would be crazy. You'd have to have prosthetics for the trolls and everything like that. But we're able to lend our imagination through the music that Grieg has provided, which I just love. It transcends what's available through both art forms together.
And both are coming together in this performance that's taking place at the Centennial Concert Hall tomorrow. Can you tell us about your role in the production?
Yeah, so I sing the role Anitra, who kind of starts Grieg's, who starts Peer's kind of self-reflection. She is a powerful woman who, uses her wiles against Peer when he's used to kind of flipping the script on through his adventures on the women that he's met so far.
Yesterday, John de Lancie, whose adaptation this is, was in studio, and we were talking a little bit about Peer himself, the sort of anti-hero, this sort of central tenet of the drama being one of identity and core existence, and who are you and what is it that you do. But it's really cool to see how this adaptation works. This might be a little bit of a silly question, but Peer Gynt by a Norwegian, written in Danish, sung in English this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you hadn't picked up Danish or Norwegian since we last spoke.
Absolutely not. No, it's all in the really wonderful English translation that I think lends itself to keeping this text really modern, and it is. I think of Ibsen's, A Doll's House that to this day feels really modern and feels of this time. I think Peer Gynt also shares that.
So we last spoke on air a few years ago. You were on to talk about your involvement in the award-winning Messiah Complex, a cross-country reimagining of the holiday Handel staple by Against the Grain Theatre, a production which Andrea, too, actually appeared. You're a U of M Des Auteurs Faculty of Music grad who's gone on to become a regular actor at the Shaw Festival in Niagara-on-the-Lake, coming off your second season. You're back in town to add a new feather in your already decorated cap, a WSO debut. How you feeling, Julie?
I mean, it's a little trippy. It's something that I haven't really, outside of Messiah Complex, I haven't really touched classical music since I graduated in 2015. So I'm really excited to be back in this world. And it's been wonderful being beside Andrea, who I went to school with, who we did Messiah Complex with. She's been my guiding light through this process because, I'm used to 3.5 weeks of rehearsal or months of rehearsal. And here we are meeting on a Tuesday and then putting the show up on a Saturday. So it's a very different pace. I'm really grateful to have her on this journey.
And I'm super happy for you. A very special moment. You and I sang together and toured together with the University of Manitoba Singers. We also co-hosted the 2014 Singers Banquet together. I'm sure they're still talking about our legendary repartee, Julie. I'm sure it still comes up as, model hosting duties.
I think so.
No, definitely not. But anyway, that being said, I imagine this debut made even more special as you're also reconnecting with the University of Manitoba Singers and Elroy Friesen, right?
Yes, Elroy is one of my most favorite professors from our undergrad, and he's someone who I'm sure, similar to you, has stuck with you through your life since we've graduated. Being able to have the singers behind me, especially in my piece, Arabian Dance, it starts with the sopranos and altos, and then I sing, and then it ends with the sopranos and altos from the University Singers. And it's just so exciting to be bolstered and energized by their sound behind us. It's really, really exciting to be there. It means a lot to have my alma mater choir there with me too. Yeah,
really special indeed. Now, one other thing that I was talking about with John de Lancie yesterday was, a lot of people are coming because John de Lancie's coming to town. I mean, Q from Star Trek and Don Margolis in Breaking Bad, which you haven't seen, interestingly enough. I know, okay. Just wanted
you're
to...
just going to out me on
radio. No, Breaking Bad. Hey, look, it's something for you to watch sometime in the near future. But he just appears in so many things, and he's such a draw. And I was talking about how people are likely going to be going to the show. Of course, there's the dedicated classical music audience, but there are those who also have maybe never seen a classical music symphonic show before with singing and chorus. This feels like a really good in, though, doesn't it, for those who haven't experienced that world before?
Mm-hmm. I think you're totally right. I think it's a wonderful in for classical music and also classical text, that it heightens both of these art forms into this really wonderful narrative that is so exciting. The way that it's been set up with John de Lancie and the symphony, it really integrates this text. So it's not just text and music. It takes you on a journey that I think you're going to forget that you're watching a symphony show. It really feels like you're immersed in this theatrical experience.
Well, I'm really excited about the show that's coming up tomorrow. One last thing, you've got such a diverse resume. What's next for you, Julie?
Well, after I finish the WSO show, I'll be going back to the Shaw Festival in Niagara-on-the-Lake in Ontario, and we will be starting rehearsals for our 61st season out there.
Wow!
And I will be playing Louise in Gypsy, a musical fable by James Lapine and. But Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah.
And I will also be in a Tom Stoppard farce called On the Razzle.
Oh, man. So, right back into the swing of things. Appreciate you swinging by the studio this morning, somewhat last minute, but, you said you were available, and I was like, oh, okay. Why not have a little singers reunion on air? You can hear Soprano Julie Lumsden along with fellow soprano and U of M alum Andrea Lett, joining with the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra and the U of M Singers, and special guest narrator John de Lancie in, why not use the word one more time, a very special show that comes up tomorrow. Edvard Grieg's Peer Gynt, the Henrik Ibsen drama, takes place at 7:30 p.m. at the Centennial Concert Hall. For more details, head to WSO.ca or classic107.com.